I recently received a death threat, a bona fide death threat. I am super passionate about the care and well-being of tortoise species. It isn't one. It's tortoises. It's sulcatas. It's desert tortoises. It's Russian tortoises. It's all of them. Super passionate about it. I have been rescuing tortoises for the last 7 years. I had to put a number on it. And I do mean rescue. And let me tell you why I'm saying that. I recently received a death threat, a bona fide death threat. I'm gonna put it kind of up here on the screen. I'm gonna have to like redact a bunch of the things there, the nasty language and all, but this was literally somebody wishing me to not be on this planet anymore and telling me God was gonna have vengeance on me. How did this come about? It came about because in one of the Facebook groups that we are both in, I was giving some advice. It specifically had to do with not allowing these creatures to be together if you have more than one. You can get away with putting 2 females together, usually, not always. But if you put 2 males together when they get sexually mature, they are most likely going to fight. If you put a male and female together, they are going to most likely breed. Most of the rescues that I am involved with, the number one problem is all of the breeding that is going on and all of the resulting babies. It is actually illegal in the state of Nevada to allow breeding of the desert tortoise. You don't actually own a desert tortoise. You are their caretaker, and there's very strict guidelines on how to take care of them. So I do have multiple desert tortoises, but as you can see, there's the pen I was just in. This is Bubbles' pen. They are all separated. They do not get to interact. They don't need to interact. They are not social creatures. They very much like their individual attention. I will be doing more videos on the actual care, feeding, all of that good stuff, but I can tell you, one of the things that they really love is hibiscus. Now, this is Priscilla, who I think we have to rename Elvis because you can't tell what they are until they mature. And we are now seeing the signs that Priscilla is now Elvis. But you can see how much they absolutely adore these hibiscus flowers. They always go for that little center morsel first. So we actually plant all of the types of plants that they like as treats. So these are my habitats. They are all divided. The dog houses are double insulated igloo dog houses because this ground is too hard to build a proper burrow. So this is what I call an artificial burrow. I have a mister system that comes on when it gets over 100 degrees. The rugs on top stay wet, keep it nice and cool inside of their little bungalows. I don't know where she is right now. She is hiding. Now I do have one that has gone ahead and made her own nice little burrow. It's back underneath that big bush. She could not be stopped. And we just let her. She does have this if she wants to use it, but she has made her own little bungalow back there. This one is a little pickier about her food. This is Chadwick. I'm actually just taking care of her for someone else who moved and their backyard situation is not optimal for her. So she lives here in a nice habitat that's more suited where she can burrow it. Look at it. She's just going to sniff this forever before she takes a bite. Yeah, see, I know you like this. You just gotta get the taste going there. They're actually very picky eaters. And this one in particular, she's a little bit of a princess. She only likes the pink hibiscus as well. And so, of course, we do grow both varieties. And this is a particularly lucky day for everybody because we have multiple blooms, so almost everybody is going to get a hibiscus too. So this is our big sulcata girl. This is the species that has the most crisis in the rescues because of their size. They start out super small, cute, tiny. Everybody wants a nice little $100 baby tortoise, and then they grow to this size. Now she is only having 3 legs because one leg had to be amputated. It's another issue. They can get into lots of trouble, and if you're not around to help them out of it, it can cause things like this. So she's our big girl. She has roam of the entire yard, but she does not have access to any of the other tortoises, nor would we ever put a male with her. We could possibly put a female with her, but I'm not even sure we would want to do that because of her bit of a vulnerable state. She couldn't really defend herself. So that death threat came from me trying to educate someone who was insisting that they needed to get a male for their female sulcata tortoise. And I was in there educating, and this lovely gentleman who left me that nice little message showed a picture of like his 30 tortoises living together. And I do not call names, I do not do those things, but I said, please know that this is a serious problem and you are creating more of that problem, because he was insisting that he was rescuing them. It's like, you are not rescuing. If you're letting them breed and then you're selling the babies, that is not rescue work. That is creating the problem that the rescues have to deal with later. So I'm pretty passionate about education. So that is what resulted in the ultimate death threat. Now, he was dealt with by the admins of that group and removed, but it is a serious issue, and I see it every single day. People think that their tortoises need a friend. This is Hope. Hope is a Russian tortoise, and Hope came to me on death's door, literally almost not with us anymore, because Hope had been severely neglected. He was living in a bathtub with another Russian tortoise who did not make it. And this one was brought to me by a viewer. And you can see the scars from being a dog chew. So Hope was chewed on by a dog, was completely malnourished, couldn't even walk. Here, you want fair game to the hibiscus, little one? Now Hope stays, oh, no, where are you going? Hope stays in what we call a tortoise box. I have a towel here because there's a window and you never want them to be able to look out the window. Okay, I'm going to put her back in. Having a window will make them want to climb and get out. Even with having something over it, Hope still tries to. Now, why does Hope live in this box? That is because Hope is too vulnerable to live in a large habitat without protection from like birds of prey. So while taking care of tortoises is really not super difficult, they do have some fairly specific needs and nutritional needs. They don't eat fruit unless they are a fruit-eating species, which there's not very many of those. And it's simply because, think of it, they're a slow metabolism animal. Fruit is sugar. Sugar ferments. So when that sugar sits in their digestive system, it ferments and does a die-off of their good bacteria that is needed to digest the foods that they really need to be eating, the grasses and weeds and things like that. We do, like you saw me feeding them some radicchio. That is a once every couple of week treat that I give them. It's a form of lettuce, basically. So they love it, but it's not like an all-time diet. So it's 20% of their diet is like treat type things. Romaine lettuce really has no nutritional value, but it does have some hydration value. I do some red leaf lettuce and dandelion greens. And other than that, they get what's natural to them. We grow all the plants around, and like you saw, feeding the hibiscus leaves. So keeping it as natural as possible for them so they can have long, healthy lives. And yes, my kids know that when I'm gone, they have to deal with these guys. So we're making provisions for that. It'll all be planned out, and there will be everything they need to keep these guys the way that they're supposed to be kept. All right, that's it. That's just all. That was my little thing I wanted to say today. If you would like to see more information on how to actually do the caring for them, show some of the feeding needs, all of that, always happy to. Just let me know down in the comments what you'd like to know about keeping tortoises. I think everybody should have one if they want to, because they make tremendously awesome pets, I think, with very little maintenance. They don't need a lot. And so you can go away, and they'll be perfectly fine having somebody just check up on them every once in a while. All right, with that, thank you for watching, and let me know if you want to see more about tortoises.